Ooh, it's
All
hot.
right.
I'm going to turn down the heat.
Okay, go for it. Did you just say turn down the heat? Aren't you in a very warm place?
Well, it's 60 for us. It's really cold. But I think the truth is I just got a menopause wave of heat. That's what's happening. And I'm like, oh, so nice. I love them.
You're so cute. Okay, well, I want to be respectful of your time and everyone's time this evening. So we're really grateful to have you on the call with us tonight. I've been a coach for 4.5 years, so Shakeology has been in my life for that long. And I have a lot of my lifers here tonight who I know, Shakeology has been a game changer for all of us in our health. And I actually am 34 weeks pregnant today, so I have a Shakeology baby in there.
Oh, my God, this is so nice. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Congratulations, sweetie.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so I really just want to kind of hand it over to you. We had our team call the other night, so this is specifically just to hear from you, and I'll just let you take over. I know I sent over some questions, so I'll let you work your magic.
I'll use some help if I need it. It's not magical enough. Just tell me.
No, we're excited.
I didn't questions. I'm going to go at your. Go ahead.
I didn't know if you wanted to maybe talk about, just for a second, like how Shakeology came into your mind. We do have some newer people here tonight, and then if you want to dive into the questions, that would be great.
Okay. I love to be super specific to the crowd that I'm talking to, because I'm not here to hear myself talk. I'm really here hoping that I can help you guys. So if by any chance, because I don't see people, I don't look, I just focus on what I'm saying and what you're asking me. So, but if you realize that it's off topic for you, or it's something that your crowd doesn't need, please let me know, because I'm here to please as best as possible. And if I hang up and hear that it wasn't helpful for you, it'll make me sad. That's the only reason why I'm here. And it's what I love to do. It doesn't matter if it's the shake or live or anything. Feeling that I'm being used well is the best feeling in the world. So this is all I'm looking for each call. I don't look for being perfect. I don't pretend that I'll have all the answers, but I do want to serve to the best of my ability. So communication is key. So please, if you got a bunch of people saying, oh, I know that, I've heard that a zillion times, then let me know. But I do want to give you the background if you feel the background will help. So I'll do that, and then I'll go at your questions.
Sure. And just so you know, I'll give you the age group of kind of where we are. So I'm 32. We probably have anywhere from 25 to 40 on our team. So we're kind of a younger crew. We are fitness junkies. We have some amazing transformations with Shakeology, like 80-pound plus weight loss. We have a single dad, 100-pound weight loss. So that's kind of a little bit about us.
Well done, guys. That's incredible. That's incredible. And the power of nutrition, huh? Yes. Moving and nutrition, it's very simple. I was just reading something that's totally off topic, but I was just reading some articles from different experts and different research about DNA testing for dieting. So basically they test your poo, your saliva, your blood, and they look at your gut. Some of them look at your gut. Some of them is more based on your DNA. And it's a good money-making machine. And perhaps in the future there may be some real ability to utilize some of that information. But it was very clear for me as I was reading all this that, the microbiome has trillions and trillions of different bacteria. That's the gut-friendly and unfriendly bacteria in your tummy that allows you to be alive and to process food and nutrition of any kind. And you need both. So there's no bad guys here. It's the balance that matters. And that balance and who they all are and what they all do, because it's connected to immune, to all sorts of stuff that I probably legally cannot state right now, but I'm just repeating an article partly. And but I was thinking, wow, so in terms of research, all the scientists came and said it's impossible to actually understand at this point those trillions of bacteria, what they do, what they don't do, who's supposed to be there for everybody, who's not supposed to be there for everybody, because we're all very unique. So to go out there and say, oh, this is how your microbiome should be for everyone, millions and millions of people, it's quite a gutsy move. So there is no real research to back that up, that there's one way. And they know what your way is. And the same thing with the DNA. It's very convoluted, this science. But for me, what was interesting is what I'm seeing and how much money they're making is how challenging it is for people to simply understand themselves in terms of how much do I need to move, whether I like it or not, and what and how much do I need to eat. There's only several categories of food, and there's only so much you can ingest, and in between nothing and too much. Each one of us is pretty clear of how much we should have. We have the containers, not just us, but you can even do your own little portion control system that works for you. And then you move, and then you realize how much you need to move or not move for something to happen or to feel good. And just that alone, we so do not want to do, not you guys, but in general, do these simple things and figure out these simple things, fruit, veggies, whether you want no grain, a little bit of grain, salad, some protein. It's not that complex. But we simply are wanting anything but having to stop for a moment and figure ourselves out and understand where our bad habits come from, not too deeply, but understand that if you reach out for food at 2 a.m. or 10:30 p.m., it's probably not because you're hungry. Something else is going on. So whether you go through it emotionally or psychologically, or if you just go through it through discipline of not reaching for that whatever at 10:30 or at 2 a.m., it's not going to be comfortable. You're breaking a habit. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's not that complex. But you've got to go through your process and to do these simple things. And as I was looking at these companies' program, their marketing, I could tell that there was lots of vegetables and fruits in these containers. Some of them have containers. I was like, yeah, well, most of us, if we start eating lots of veggies and some fruits, that alone, and drink a lot of water, that alone can make a huge change. So we want to make it so complex, and we want that one answer that I don't want to think, I don't want to feel, I don't want to know, I just want it to work. And that's the tough one. That probably won't work in the long term. And so I'm watching these fads going in and out like that. Now, is that to say that technology will not be able to bring us amazing information? Of course not. Microbiome and gut health, 25 years ago when I was into it, was barely talked about, barely known. Lots of people laughed at me. And here we are, very important now. It's all over your health food store. So of course there'll be, openings and discoveries, and that's wonderful, and I welcome it. But at the end of the day, as a human species, we need to move, and we need to understand how much food comes in and how much food we need, how much energy comes out, how much rest we need, how much water we need to drink. There's certain basic, until we are a very different race with these bodies, there's a lot of basic stuff that's not that complex, but you still have to do it. And you still have to pause and think about yourself a little bit and your behavior and what feels good and what doesn't feel good. What doesn't feel good is probably not good. I don't care what your DNA is doing, if only psychologically and emotionally. If there's some food that you have this instant rush, sugar rush, and then there's this guilt and shame and these thought process about yourself for hours afterward, then it's not good. So you're not supposed to do it, and on it goes. So it just made me laugh how complex we want to make it, and that's why I love the Beachbody platform. We're not making it complex. We're trying to simplify it for you. We're trying to bring a certain basic fundamental diet plan with each of your workouts, whatever program you're on. And Shakeology is food, and it's trying to provide you with the best, most viable, more alive, most potent food in a simple way so that at least you know you've got that daily dose of dense nutrition, as Carl calls it. We're trying to help you move. So it's very basic, but you're dealing with deep human behavior, and that's not basics. And I think that's where most of our challenges come from. It's like, we know we're complex, we know we're not easy, but we expect our customers, our humans, the people that come to us, we expect them to totally get you, totally understand, and totally commit right away. And we get quite upset when they don't. When we know how complex we are, how stubborn we can be, how long it took us to figure some basic stuff out. So of course, they're going to come to you full of fear and insecurities, and perhaps they did a zillion other program and they've been had and it didn't work for them. So they're a little suspicious, a little doubtful. Lots of information on the market can be very confusing. So as I'm watching a lot of our coaches through the ups and downs of the company having a challenging time, I'm like, well, yeah. Like I say so often now, in a relationship, there's no relationship of 30 years plus or 20 or 10 or any double digit plus that was just everything was always good. We never argued about anything. So, obviously, in a relationship with your customer or with a company, there will be ups and downs and there'll be learning curves. But I think that's where the beauty is. Because as I sit here with you, you see me as the co-creator of Shakeology and other products, and you see me as a representation of the company. And for some people, I'm the wife of the CEO. That's something I forget that people see me as that, because that's not how I identify. My identity is not that. I happen to love that man and be married to him, but my identity is not rolled into that. And when I'm here with you guys, it might be hard for you guys to believe me, but I swear on my boy's heart that I'm not here to sell. And that my ultimate goal has nothing to do with selling the shake. Do I love selling the shake? Of course I love that it sells. I know it's good. I love making it with Darren and the company. There was a lot of joy in it. A lot of what I've learned, what has helped me is in it. And so I love it. But the truth of the matter is I would do this with this or anything else. I love being here and dealing with questions and dealing with people that are a little bit skeptical and dealing with people that are super happy about it and dealing with, problems that they're having. I like when people attack me. I used to feel like, oh my God, what did I do? Now I'm like, oh, what is that about? So let me investigate. Let me figure out what this person doesn't know me, but they're very mad at me. So let me figure it out. So there's a joy because I love people. And 25 years ago, I couldn't have said that. People was my biggest problem in life. Life was great if I didn't have to have relationships with people. Forgetting that I'm a people. So somebody out there was probably saying, I like life, but I wish I didn't have to have a relationship with Isabelle. So, we're just all the same. But I've evolved in such a way that I'm realizing that it's actually the sharing and the caring and the wanting the Beachbody coaches to enjoy their life on our platform, to really enjoy what they're doing. That's really what I look for. If somebody is not liking it, I don't want them here. Just because I don't want to participate in any way, shape, or form in an unhappy state of affair in another individual. So I will never try to convince anybody of anything. And if they don't believe me, that's okay. I'm not here to convince anybody. And I'm not here to pretend that my shake has to be the entire planet's shake. It's just my way of creating. We're all creators on planet Earth. We all come, whether we create babies or create happy relationship or create a good neighborhood or create products or build things or draw or sing, whatever it is we love to create. That's what we do. And that's just part of what I create. Right? And so I'm excited about it. I believe in it. And I'm here to participate in my creation and hopefully participate in enhancing someone else's life. That's my purpose here on the Beachbody platform. If that stopped being true, no matter if it had something to do with the sell or not selling, I would be out, because my first priority is my well-being, my internal well-being. And I feel the same way about you guys. My first priority is your internal well-being. And I know that if you're joyful, if you're at peace, if you love showing up for us, for yourself, for the people that will connect with you, you will probably sell better too. But don't show up just to sell. That's not okay. I don't care that may sound weird, but it's not okay that the only thing that would make you happy is to make sure you have X amount of package sold in a day. I don't believe that. I believe it's fun, it's a fantastic outcome, but you've got to enjoy the process. And that means the nitty-gritty, the weird, the unpleasant, whatever comes at you, you've got to understand that is life. And this relationship with us is a long-term relationship. We're not a flash in the pan. We don't want to sell like crazy for 2 to 5 years and then take off. We want to remain here. We want a long-term relationship. And so I know, and Carl knows, and I know Darren knows, that it will be difficult at times. We will have ups and downs and challenges, and okay. That's okay. So if I can do anything on this call, much more than help you sell the shake, is help you be at peace with the process, help you enjoy the process. And for me, enjoying all that here automatically means that I'm enjoying it everywhere else in my life, in my relationship, as a mother, as a teacher, as a health and wellness coach. I enjoy it because I know it's not supposed to be easy, and that's good, because then when I know what I don't want, I know what I do want, and everything that happens that I don't want, I know is my opportunity to create what I do want. And so it's fun. And so that's my big opening.
Isabelle, you need to write a book. You're you're so special. And just so you know too, so the name of our team is Dream Corp, as in corporation. And I didn't want to pick one of those like team fit, I don't know. I don't want to point fingers at team names, but I really wanted a mission.
I like that.
I really wanted a mission where I just updated our banner in our team page last night, and it said "Coming together to live life better."
Oh, so
yeah.
Wow.
We're personal development junkies, and
wow.
I use the word lifer a lot. I want people to stick around and know that this is, you know, we've been through some crazy stuff on our team, just like everyone else. So we thrive on the challenge, like you. When you said when someone challenges you, you're like, bring it on. Yes. So we relate to you in so many ways, and I think that's such a beautiful opening. And I hope you share that with more teams more often, because
I don't know. I go with each call and they're all different. That's what's incredible. I've been doing this for like, I think, 6 months now regularly.
Yeah.
And I'm always shocked. Every call is absolutely and completely different. And I can, and oddly enough, even though like I see only 3 faces here, and I have to look at that little hole so that it looks like I'm looking at you guys, and which is annoying because I'd like to just look at faces. But
you should tell your assistant to change it. There's an option where you can see more faces.
Oh my God, that's great. Okay, thank you. I'm not very good at technology, but I'm learning.
There's 40 of us here.
Oh, good. Hi. And when I sit in front of the computer, I swear to you, like even the way I feel, how I start, what I say, it's like I can feel my audience, but you know, it's through a computer, but I can sense it. And when I feel bad, it's usually when I felt a certain thing that needed to come out and I didn't say it. And that's when I know I didn't listen that feeling. So it's interesting that you say that. So I was preaching to the wrong crowd. You're already there. Yeah.
No, it's great. I think it's awesome you said.
Good reminder, right?
It solidifies what we
all do.
Yeah, I like to get on a soapbox, and I'm all about the motivation and the go out and live your life and do everything. So just for you to kind of come together with our team mission, it's special to us. And someone in the chat said that they love your beautiful voice, and an audiobook would be amazing from you.
Thank you so much. Good. It's a lot better when you like the voice you have to listen to for an hour, right?
Yes.
Thank God. Woo, I did that.
No, it's great.
So let me give you real quick. So about when I was in my early 20s, out of nowhere, I started getting quite ill, big bouts of illness that made me unable to function. Then I would get better, and then it would come back, and then that happened more frequently. And then the bouts of being better were less and less better until I was just flat out. And through this 2-3 year period of struggling with the health aspect of my life, I went to see many, many doctors, and nobody had an answer, and that was very scary. I got to a place, that's for the newbies here, I got to a place where I couldn't provide for myself, I couldn't work, I couldn't go to school, I lost all my clients, I lost a lot of money going to doctors, so I got very scared. I got super close to being on the streets. In one of the calls I shared that in the alleyway of where I used to stay, there was always a bunch of homeless people sleeping there. And I remember one night I actually made a point of walking through the alleyway, which is a little scary because it's dark. And I was looking at them thinking, wow, that's how stuff like that can happen, right? Because some people say, oh, they're lazy and stuff. I don't know all of them. But I remember walking that alleyway thinking, wow, I am so close to that because I have so many debts. I can't work, I'm ill. And that night, my emotional state probably didn't help, but in that night, I could not move my feet a step, one little step, to get into my doorway of my home. And I collapsed and I cried. And then after a few hours, I went in and I was just frightened out of my mind. And this is when I decided, okay, I've got to go outside the box. I've got to figure out how other countries, other ways, what exists out there, other countries deal with health. So I started looking into Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbs, naturopathy, aromatherapy, flower therapy, essential oil, of course, nutrition, serum, plants, all sorts of botanicals. And I went to Vietnamese market and Chinese market, the Japanese market, and I started really learning how they handled our health. They're way ahead of us. We're catching up. And this is when I started buying roots because I was too broke to buy pills or anything like that. So I would go and I would listen to the people that were kind enough to teach me at the time. And I would get barks and roots and botanicals and herbs, and I would do my own extraction, basic extraction. I would cook my own stuff, and I would drink these things. I changed completely everything about my food, and I ate some wild tasting stuff. And these potions taste terrible, but oh my God, did they work. I literally could feel it within 3 months after almost 3 years of getting worse and worse and worse. And these people saved my life. And so I remained in contact with them for years. I extended my connection to homeopathy and all these different kind of, medicine. And so many people spend time and for free teaching me, helping me understand all this. Then I started reading like a mad woman, and my whole life changed. And so making potion and serum and shakes became my protocol. This is how I helped my own clientele that I rebuilt slowly. And so it was part because I was a track and field coach, and I was a rehabilitation, sport nutrition, sport psychology, training of all sorts, and especially track and field. And so I started combining my understanding of nutrition, which at the time, especially on the tracks, if any of you has an understanding of that world, really not into that. And nutrition and shakes, because these things tasted terrible. Especially my track and field guys who are 17, 16, 18, they haven't gotten sick and depressed enough to really want to drink these things, right? Too disgusting. So I had to find ways to camouflage all of it. This is how it began. And then I started doing groups, and then I started doing companies, and then I was asked to design some shake for ghostwriter, basically, for companies. And what happened to me through this, 2 decades or so, is eventually when a company hired me and a product would start making some money, as the profit came in, the quality went down. And that was really disheartening for me. And because I was in a world that you expect everyone to actually care and want the best for everyone all the time. Now I've grown, I've evolved, and my judgment is a lot less harsh. It doesn't mean I want to participate in that, but I get it. I get what's happening for them. But I don't want to be part of that. And so I would walk out. So cut to now, I'm with my husband. He's watching me do these things for him, for my son, for my maid, for the teachers, for the kids at the little school that I started. We have about 10 kids, 8 to 10 kids. Anyway, so I love making shake. Friends that come over, I make shakes for them, and he's watching me do all that. And he asked me to make one for the company. And I said no. And he said, why? And I said, because I am married to you, baby. And I've worked for CEOs before, and I was able to walk out, and I lost my bonuses and my credentials, and it's all good. I don't care. But I don't want to walk out of it because I love you very much, and I want to stay here with you. So please don't ask me to do that. He insisted, asked again. I said no again. Literally, we had a little contract, and he promised me that he would never, ever, ever compromise the quality and the purity of the shake. And I believed him, and I went for it. And then I needed help. And then I found this amazing guy, Darren, which is my soulmate as a formulator. We believe and fight for the same thing. So I was blessed, and it was obviously meant to be because it came so easy. My meeting with Darren was so easy that, this thing is supposed to happen. And so it goes. That was the beginning and the purpose of the shake. So all the ingredients in the shake, and I know Darren has his own story, but I know it's true for him as well, that everything in the shake, it's all there because we experience the benefits on our own personal health, and then on all our clients, or at least I can speak for me, on all my clients. So it was real, it was an experience, and it was thrilling because I came out from a very scary place to be radiant with health at the time. I just couldn't believe that I was able to get back and get better than where I was, of course, and helping hundreds and hundreds of people before I hit the platform of Beachbody. So there's nothing in this shake that's just because I read about it or because I heard it's supposed to be good. It's all because I've lived it. And it's all in the purpose of enhancing others. And that's it. That's it. No other reason. And the battle that we do, Darren and I, and all that we fight for behind the scene to keep the purity at a time in the history of the planet where it's very challenging to find unadulterated ingredients. It's you have no idea. We try to convey it, and we'll try to be even better in the year to come in giving you as much information as we can. But it is very challenging with a planet that is this compromised. We say it, and we say it a lot, and I'll say it again. Soil, very compromised. The air, very compromised. The water, very compromised. So even when you have organic, the soil is organic and it's grown from organic soil. If the air around is polluted and you have open pod things growing, guess what? It catches all the pollution. If the water is dirty, guess what? It catches all the pollution. So it is not easy. And it's not easy to find like-minded soul, what's the word in English? People, the people that provide us, farmers, I forgot, it's written here. Sometimes I forget American words, but the people that we partnership with that are providing us with the land and the farm and the ingredients, it's not easy to find a match. Somebody who's as committed to the purity of their ingredients as we are to the purity of our ingredients. So that alone is difficult. And then you add the amount because we need a lot, because we sell a lot. And so that also is very hard to find suppliers and vendors. Okay, those are my two words, that actually can provide as much as we need. So between, I'm answering a question, I think, actually right now, about why it's not certified organic. And so I'll get into that if you don't mind. So you said go ahead, right? So I'm going with
it. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt
consciousness.
But if you need me, you let me know. We're just listening to you, loving it.
Yeah, and then if I'm not clear, just stop me. So basically, I'm answering right now the challenge of having it certified organic. Now, whenever we can find enough, the right vendor, supplier, right farmers that are committed to their quality and purity of the water, of the soil, in an area that's not polluted in terms of the air too much, right? Or able to not destroy the bioavailability that's for the vendors and the processing machines, right? The processing areas, all that, then we go for it. But if any one of those are not okay with us, because we test everything. So the reason why we test everything, like I said, it's because one or two of these factors are not enough. Everything has to line up in order for something to be clean and also to be alive, so that the processing is kind and gentle. State-of-the-art, gentle ways of extracting what we need from this ingredient, this plant, this botanical, or that the prebiotic and probiotic are actually alive by the time it gets to you, all that. So when it lines up, we're thrilled to do it. Now, the other challenge we have with that is that we have ingredients in Peru, up in little mountains, little villages all around the world that do not know anything about all the protocols and the paperwork and how things are supposed to be in order to call it organic. It also would cost them a lot of money to move through all that, and having to learn to work their land in a very different way that they have done for hundreds of years. And a different language too. So there's a lot of challenges when you have 60 plus ingredients. 5, 12, it's okay. I have Daily Sunshine out right now. It's all organic, all certified non-GMO, all the no soy, no dairy, no gluten, because I could do it because there's less ingredients. So I could manage to figure that one out. But 60 plus with all the challenges that I've just mentioned to you is a heck of a thing. We just heard now that reishi on the market, the mushroom, 75%, I believe, of it is not even reishi. So they've just done research and tests, and 75, I think I have the right percentage, 75% of the reishi on the market that you may buy is not even reishi. How about that? So you're hearing about that now. We encountered that a lot. So thank God we don't just believe that something is certified organic. We test, because it's not just being organic. Is it potent? The chemical makeup of that plant, is it in there? Is it available? Is it alive? And is it potent? Is there enough of that potency that it's worth our while? Only by testing do you know that for sure. A lot of companies, and I'm not saying all of them, and I always say, I hope to God we're not the only one doing that. We need help. We need more of us wanting to do sustainable feeding and all that, right? But a lot of people will just call a vendor and say, is it organic? Yes, it's organic. Cool. And get the paperwork, and that's it. It's done. It's all paperwork and phone calls. We go. We have dozens and dozens of suits that fly everywhere. We meet the vendor. Sometimes Darren can go as well. He meets the vendor, the farmers, the suppliers. We test everything. We talk, and we try to make partnership of like-minded people, because we know how hard it is to find each other. So it is a heck of a thing with 60 plus ingredients to commit to this purity of each ingredient on all levels. So this is why it is not just about getting the stamp. We are looking forward to, we've been trying hard and talking and Darren and all the team, and we're trying to figure out ways to show that and express that to you in a way that would be simple for you to share as well. So we're working on that, just so you know. But that's the reason. Now, please raise your hands. Does that clarify it for you?
I'm going to look and see.
I've got 3 that raised their hands.
Everyone's giving you the thumbs up or raising their hands. So.
Good. Okay, good. Next. I don't have my glasses. Hold on.
No problem.
Okay, so organic. Why are they whey versions fortified? Well, that's very simple. Some people wanted the certificate, the fortifications, and some didn't. And so we debated for a while, and then we decided let's do both. So and I'm just generalizing right now, but the people that tend to go for the vegan version are sort of more purist at times. And so they really, a lot of them do not want certification. They want the natural vitamins and minerals that come from the ingredients. And also, some people have multivitamins supplementation that they take besides Shakeology, and it would be complex to try to figure out what they could and could not keep or retain. And so we really wanted to help both people that maybe don't want to spend money on their multivitamins, or know that what's in the shake is what they need, it's sufficient to them, and want it all in one package to make it more just easier for them, less things to take. So we wanted to try to please both camp.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just like vegan myself better, but I know that I feel like, do you know off the top of your head if vegan has more sales than the whey protein? I'm just curious if people prefer the vegan.
No, I'm not sure. Because I'm not that close to all these kind of departments, but I think the whey sells more. I think it does.
Okay.
So I have a lot of little, I brought them here for you guys. I have little things, Mike is our head of quality assurance and R&D, amazing. We have Richard, we have Dana, we have lots of people in the back that we're hoping you'll get to know as the months progress. And they send me slightly different question, but they send me little things over time that I really, really, really liked. Can I read it to you? It's not long.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's information that are sort of, I think in somewhere in your question, you're like the official answer. It's official. So it's
I like that.
but I thought I would share that. I'll just go halfway through, and I'll just share. I think it's going to be fun information for you guys. So this is Mike, the head of R&D and quality assurance. It says, we are always striving to improve the Shakeology formulas and deliver the very best quality product possible. For example, in April, we increased the protein level in vanilla, strawberry, and cafe latte from 16 to 17 grams, the same as chocolate and cranberry, basically. At the same time, we upgraded the vitamin and mineral fortification system based on the leading edge nutritional science, including moving to more bioavailable sources of vitamin K, B12, and B9 into folate, as well as increasing vitamin D based on the Institute of Medicine latest recommendations. That's the kind of upgrading, the kind of stuff that we do all the time, whenever we can. So when you ask the question, why does it change? Whenever we can upgrade, whatever we can do, we could not do maybe 2 years ago, we go ahead and do it. We don't wait for things to happen. We just go for it. So we also added 2 new superfood, matcha green tea and chaga mushrooms, which Darren and I were thrilled about at Dr. Jin. I'm going to ask a question after that. We also have an industry-leading quality and safety program with very stringent requirements. In addition to extensively testing and auditing our suppliers before qualifying an ingredient used in Shakeology, we test every single lot. Not many do that, guys. So just before you got it, that lot got tested. And have an ongoing audit program of our suppliers to ensure they continue to meet our standards. If an ingredient does not consistently meet our standards, which is what I was talking about, if suddenly there's something not right, because we test, we will replace the supplier, and if we cannot find an acceptable replacement, we will stop using the ingredients. This is why sometimes things are not in the shake anymore. Whenever we replace an ingredient, our policy is use an alternative that provides a similar or an improved benefit. Ingredients and suppliers that may be acceptable for some companies are not necessarily acceptable for Beachbody. In fact, we have historically rejected more ingredients than we have approved. We invest millions of dollars. When you wonder why the Shakeology is not $30, this is part of why. Millions of dollars each year on our quality programs to ensure that you get the quality and safety you expect and deserve. So we believe that it's an astounding product, and this is what we do every day, all day, every week, every month, every year, to make sure that it is what we say it is, so that I can stand here and feel good about what I'm saying. There's a little bit more.
I love that you guys test it. I mean, I always...
That's crazy. And you know, it's disheartening to us first, because very often we want something to be good. And sometimes we have very unpleasant surprise, and it's unpleasant also to see the lack of collaboration to change a problem. But we're hoping that more companies do that it's something that is real because of the state of affair of planet Earth. It is very real. So we've got to do that. There's no other way to trust that what we say is what it is. And so it's not going to be $30. I and Darren and Carl, we did not set up to do the cheapest product on the market. That's not. And we did not even know if this shake was going to sell. The whole company was against us at the time. Nobody wanted us to do that because they thought it was crazy. But Carl said to Darren and I, do the best and let's see how much it is. And then he said, despite everyone against him, I want to try because that's the best. I want to see if I can sell the best. So that was risky and scary for us all. And here we are now, right? So it is worth it because it becomes challenging to simply get what you need from food, from our meals, because there's GMO on the market. There's all sorts of stuff that's happening that most of the time we're not being told, or we're being told 50 years later. GMO's been around for at least 40 years. Nobody wanted to tell us. And so here we are now. Everybody's aware of it. I think we're the only, I could be wrong. I won't go there because I could be wrong with status, but it's something real. And this is why the shake is here. This is why we are, we want to support farmers, vendors, suppliers, and people that want clean, healthy, potent, natural, in the real sense of what the word is, not this cavalier way of using natural in products that doesn't mean much. So this is the purpose, and this is the why of the money as well. If you get that conversation going, don't be afraid of it. Don't be intimidated. Get deep into it. You know, if you need to type this little thing that I just read, or what I said prior to that, if you need to type it, to have it, to learn it, please do that. That is part of your responsibility to educate people. I don't care if they don't even buy my shake. I just want them to know that they have to be proactive about their health because it's a little bit nutty out there. Okay.
I agree with you on that. When people come back about the price, or before I've even told them, they hear how much Shakeology is from out there in the world and they're afraid of it. And I'm actually honestly proud to offer a higher end shake. I'm not afraid to share that price point because it is the most powerful shake. So they can buy the $30 untested, who knows what shake if they want, if that's their level of integrity. But I'm so proud of our price point and what it offers. So
thank you. And very often when people are insist on staying on the phone with me, because often I'll say, listen, it sounds like you just don't really buy any of this, and that's okay. So, you know, good luck.
Yeah.
And they insist on staying with me. And then I say, I'm just curious, do you have access to your CEO of this other company? Do you have direct access on a regular basis to the formulators of the products that you buy? And most of them don't. They don't. And we put ourselves on the line. We show up. Carl shows up like I don't know any CEO who shows up like this guy. It's incredible. So we are here. We are live. And we are talking because we believe in what we're doing. And so that's my last thing usually. I'll say, do you know them at all? Because you guys know us.
Yep.
And we know you. So that's, that's the answer to the price. Okay, so let's see. 1 and 2 is answer. Do you advise people to use this as a meal replacement or more for nutritional value? Well, that's the beauty of the shake. We made sure that this was not too high in a calorie. I think it's 140 calories, something like that. And so you can make it a snack. You can make it a real meal like I do. So I tend, and I think most of us tend to dress it up a lot. I put fresh almond milk. That means almonds that I soak, sprout. It's rich in all sorts of things, in protein and fat, in goodies, and I put some water and I use that. So it's not low in calorie. I put avocados, I put banana, I put almond butter, I put coconut oil. So this shake becomes a meal. But you can just as well put some, I don't know, coconut water or just pure cold water or a milk and use it that way. And it's extremely versatile. And that's what I love about it. So you can make it whatever it is you need. You can make it a pre-snack if you try not to eat as much in the main meal. You can make it something you have before the holidays. So before you go to that big dinner, have a nice shake. It'll fill you up, especially if you put like a third avocado, a little bit of banana. It will fill you up, and so you won't be as hungry. So you can use it also for nutritional value, where you just pour water and gulp it. So you can do whatever you want with it. That's what I love about it. It's very easy to do that. I say the same thing with the Daily Sunshine. It's something that is even more sweet and yummy, because the shake, some people sometimes can taste all the botanicals, so they like to dress it up. But that other one is just pure milkshake with just water, especially for kids. So that is the same thing, though. You can dress it up, make it a meal. So most of our product will be very versatile that way. And I hope that you use it that way as well. So make it what you want. All right, that's 3. I had 5 questions. 4, what do you think is the best, with big, bold, best, way to focus on our Shakeology retention with customers? So I think the beginning speech, I think, was partly the answer to that. Now that I think of it, that I know when I feel heard, when people listen to me, and I know they're listening to me because their questions show that they're listening to me. They don't have a script in their heads, and they're just waiting for me to stop talking to do their thing. They're listening to me and really trying to honestly find out if the Beachbody platform is for them. Is there a program for them, or a nutritional program for them? Is there something in there that is really tailored for these individuals' needs? Is it really, do you really sincerely think it's for them? And I think that if you do that, if your back and forth is real that way, that you're really paying attention, and once again, you forget about selling. You're just listening to see, are we right for that person? Because I really want to help. So are we right? And if you are enjoying, because listen, I'm not a salesperson, right? But if you are enjoying your talk, your sharing, and you're not thinking of the sell, I know that it's fun, right? But it cannot be your number one. So if you're listening, can I help this person? We've got that. I'm hearing you say that. What do you mean you have a challenge with food? What kind of challenge do you have? Like, if you really enjoy getting to know that human being, and then you can provide really what you need to provide to them, then they'll hear something that they really may grab on because they feel it's true, that it could help them. And the only way to do that is by really caring, really listening, but also, I think, by really knowing your platform, know your product, know the places that it scares you, the places that when you get asked this particular question or statement, you get stumped by it. Know these areas and heal that on your own first. Figure out the answers. Do you really believe that? Do you feel confident? Have you experienced the products? You've got to experience it, because this is why we don't need you to be perfect, and we don't need you to be a perfect salesperson, and we don't need you to look like Farrah Fawcett in a bathing suit. We just need you to feel better, to have experienced the benefits, to feel an enhancement because you've used our workouts or you've used our products. And so you're real as well, and you're honest as well. So to me, whenever I feel a pitch, whenever I feel like they're trying to sell me something, to pressure me into something, for me, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And so that's the last thing I would want our coaches to become. I know that call has amazing tools for you, but you can humanize these tools. These tools are there to enhance another human being, not to be forced upon. So you have to know your tools really well. You have to know your platform and your products really well. You have to know yourself enough to know that you're genuine, and you have to have fun. And then you have to pay attention and listen and be totally okay if they say no. Don't waste your time there. Don't waste your energy there. Life is mysterious. You know, I know that sometimes I bought books and it sat on my shelves for 7 years. And then suddenly, 7 years later, I pick it up and it's incredibly potent and real and of the moment. And oh my God, why didn't I read that 7 years ago? I don't know why, but it probably I wasn't ready to hear and read this particular product, right? This book or this audio tape. And then I was, and I reached out for it. But that human being will never forget that he talked to a human being that was intelligent, that was happy, that was joyful, that was real, that really paid attention to him or her, that was totally okay with the person saying, I don't know. That's good. They'll never, ever forget that experience. They'll forget your name, but they'll never forget that when they reached out for Beachbody, that person felt good. And so at some point, just like that book, they may reach out for you on that shelf somewhere, that memory remained, and come back. Who knows why we don't do things right? There's so many things. You are younger, but you know, I look back, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like the one thing I feel like I wasted my time is way too many romantic relationships. Wasted my time on trying to please guys. Oh, I look back, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. I'm sure it's part of why I was sick. And you know, it's like, oh, I could have cut that like a third and it would have been better, you know? So I feel that way, that you do not know why a human being comes to you or doesn't come to you, is available, open, ready or not. You don't know. So when you think you know and you get offended, there is no reason to be offended. You do not know that human being enough to judge that person. And so let them be, love them, bless them, make them feel welcome, and let them go if they have to go. It's good. Then move on to the next person. So that's.
I always say that they'll come around. If you still share your passion, there's going to be maybe that 7 years later, maybe 7 months later, when they see you sharing, still living that vibrant life, that I really believe at some point that people will enjoy some type of Beachbody interaction, whether it's a free challenge group or something. I know.
And also the world is changing, right?
Yes.
Sorry, you got cut off. I'm so sorry. What did you say at the end?
I was just saying that I believe that they'll come back around to us and they'll need us at some point.
Yeah. Or somebody like us.
Yep.
That's okay too, you know? There's plenty of people. This scarcity attitude is not good. There's plenty of people. There's way too many people that are not well. Way too many. And so I want us and many others to jump on board and do what we do. And we find them and we collaborate with them. The world needs the help and the honest, genuine desire to help. The world really needs it big time. So your job as a Beachbody coach, it's not just, you're not that once you make a sale. You're a Beachbody coach the moment you approach another human being. What kind of human being do you want to be? And what do you want the platform to look like? You're part of that. Each one of us will make that platform feel and be and look a certain way. And I want that platform to be, especially there's a bunch of women here, like it's hundreds of thousands of women, we're quick, we wake up faster, we get it because we nurture. And so we're good, man, we're good at heart. We want to nurture, we want to help something grow healthy and happy. We're good at this. We don't have to go to a school. We get it. And so I always tell people, treat yourself as if you were your little child, your own child. Treat yourself that way. When they make a mistake, you don't slap them, most of us, and say, how dare you made a mistake, right? When they start crawling and they fall down, when they start to get up, you don't say, you idiot. You'll never walk ever again. So, we do that to ourselves. We make a mistake and we spend 3 years slapping ourselves and beating ourselves up for that mistake. Do you ever look at your child and think they're not gorgeous? Your legs are not long enough. Oh, God, you got brown eyes. I wish you had blue eyes. God, why did you get my hair? You look at them and you love them and you think they're precious and beautiful. It doesn't have to end because you grow up. You're still that very person, that beautiful, precious person full of light that deserves worth and love. You always deserve it. You never have to earn it. But we are the worst. We make it hard for ourselves to love ourselves. I need to be 120 pounds. I need to, my skin needs to be shiny and beautiful all the time. I need, and then I'm worth something. That is not true. The fact that you're here, the fact that I'm here and you're here with me, and we are kind to each other and we're listening and we want the best for each other, that makes us worthy of loving ourselves and being kind to others. So to me, that's the platform. That really is the platform. That's what I'm here for, mostly. Everything else is a byproduct for me. And it could be anything else, but I happen to co-create the Shakeology and the Daily Sunshine and the boost, and that's kind of what I do. So that's what I happen to do. But in the forefront, what I just said is really what I'm about. I want all of us to be a platform that reminds human beings who we are and what we are not. And so we don't force people. We're not violent on people. We don't make them feel bad. And we don't feel them like they need us. I don't like that either. I'm sure it's against selling, but no, you don't need me. You're a strong, powerful human being. If you need to mess around and be overweight for another 5 years because you need to figure your stuff out, then so be it. That doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a failure. You're a beautiful human being. You have worth, and I'm going to be here. And so you're here, you're available, you're always open, but you don't make them feel like they're not worth all that they're worth. And that's what I hope for the Beachbody platform. That's why I'm here. And that's what we are, because we make money and we get healthy by helping others find their own abundance. How great is that? Why do some of us feel so guilty making money by helping oneself first, which is the proof, and then reaching out and say, you don't have to be miserable either? To me, that's a beautiful way of being in the world. So there's no need for shame here, no need for guilt. It's all good. And I hope that's what we are in the decades to come.
Everyone, I know you can't see the chat box, but everyone is just saying how powerful your energy is, and made them emotional and in a good way.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, we thank you so much for your time tonight.
You're so welcome.
I know you wanted to come here and serve us, and you definitely did. And I'm going to share this recording. I think so many people in the network need to hear this. So
yeah, share it, post it. If I'm terrible at technology, sometimes I do things and it ends up on my page, my Facebook page. I'm so excited because I don't know how I did it. but the more you share it somewhere, because somehow I can only see it or get it because I'm low brain sizzle with technology, when in my messages there's like I'm tagged and then there's a video or something, and I'm like, then I do it, I do the thing, and then a lot of that ends up on my Facebook page and it can be shared. So that's how I reach out. But do your thing. You guys are the expert with all these tools. Share it and let's hope that it helps everyone.
It definitely will. And we look forward to seeing all the things you'll be sharing with us that you guys are going to be sharing behind the scenes. We always want to know what this little Shakeology lab, and I say that loosely, but what it's like. So that's exciting.
Yes, good. Yes, we're hoping. We're on it. We're trying to figure it out with the new technology that's always upgrading, which is challenging even for Carl. There's always so many kinks and things are moving so fast. The technology is moving and changing on us all the time. So we're trying to figure out what would be the easiest way to share that so that you can share it easily. So we're on it, just so you know.
Awesome. And last thing, just so you know, I'm a Chinese medicine fan and it changed my life too.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's lovely. That makes me so happy. Good, good. Then you get it.
I totally do.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Isabelle. Have a great
Bless you all. Thank you very much. Be well.
Bye.
Bye.